Welcome
to the J&O Show.
We talk about
why don't women appreciate anything we've done for them? I mean, nothing. This is ridiculous. Go watch this video. It doesn't make no daggone sense. Get on my nerves.
Listen, one of the best places in the world to find out what the protection of men looks like versus when they take it away, Iraq was more progressive than the United States back in 56. You can look it up. They were actually more progressive when it came to women's rights. Until Shiites, I think, took over. And literally within seconds, it went back, they were wearing burqas because there was no protection from the men. Right now, if men didn't protect women, y'all could walk out in the street and get raped. No one could stop it. Who's going to stop it? Men keep other men in check. That's why it's sad that women talk so low to men when literally women wouldn't have anything if men decided we're not going to give it to you.
Damn.
And allow men lower themselves to raise women up. Because if a man decided that he wanted to just continue to oppress you, what could you do to stop it? If men collectively said, we're going to continue to rape women, we're going to continue to keep women in the house and barefoot and pregnant, what could women do to stop it?
Nothing.
And that's
Thank you, dear.
That's a fact.
So men should be looked at a lot better than they are because we're looked at as horrible people and we're literally protecting and building society.
And this is why I don't be understanding, and I know that ain't proper English.
Man, half our titles don't have proper English. You just go ahead.
Yeah, I don't be understanding, like, why is it that there is so much, I don't want to say anger, because I do understand to a certain extent the anger.
Yeah.
But just the common sense of it all. Like, I forgot who it was, but somebody, I don't know, I hope she got banned, to be honest, off of social media. But the woman that was going around talking about unaliving black babies.
Oh,
like if you find out basically that you're
she got kicked off YouTube, demonetized and everything.
Good, she need to, because that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Like, how dumb could you be? Wow. What do you mean? When people say stuff like that, it makes me really wonder, like, what happened to you when you, like, growing up as a child? Because if you're, like, so hateful towards males, I'm like, what happened to your dad? What happened to, if you had any, like, male siblings or cousins or, you know, I'm just like, you really will fix your mouth to say something like that? That's crazy.
Delusional.
Yep.
And then just the idea, like, not necessarily even taking it that far, but some women would jump on the bandwagon like, yeah, and I'm just like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, you need Jesus. Like, no, for real. Because why would you want to, like, unalive a whole race of men? And then there's, you know, some people that just say it, in general, it's just like, oh, all men is trash. Like, if men weren't here, you know, things would be so much better, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, what happened? Like, what happened to you? Like, no, seriously, something happened. And if you're a lady and you happen to be watching this, if that's your sentiment, if something inside of you, if that hit your spirit and that offended you because you're like, you know what, I kind of feel that way, you need help.
Professional help. You need professional help.
I am so sincere. All jokes aside, you really do. Because for you to think that things would be so much better if men weren't here, and vice versa, if there's men that think like this place would be so much better if women weren't here, like, you need help. Like, we are designed to work together. Yep. Men and women are designed to work together. There are certain things that men do not have. There are certain things that women do not have, because we're designed to come together to fit like a puzzle, to complete each other.
You complete me.
Yes.
Like in the family structure, in society, that's just how God designed us. He designed us both to have different parts. And that's why he said when man and women, basically, when they come together, they become one flesh. Because when you come together, it's like the two halves now make the whole. They're one. Because all of the things that you don't have, this person has, and vice versa. So you complete each other. And I don't know, that just always bothers me when I hear things like that when it comes for either side, men or women. But we've been hearing a lot more lately from women as far as like, oh, we don't need men, or men is trash. And I'm like, yeah, we do. If you want to go far back, I think we did a video, I don't remember what it was entitled, but we talked about this. If we had that mindset, like, okay, if it was just one sex here, like if it was just women and there were no men. First of all, how would any of us survive but for so long? Because there's nobody to procreate with. That's number one. So obviously we need both of us here. Okay. That's number one. Number two, the way how women are built, we don't in general have certain type of strength, like upper body strength and things of that nature, to be able to build, whether it be certain types of machinery, or like back in the day before we even had machinery, to be able to build sufficient housing to keep us safe from the elements and or animals, and different things of that nature. Men, they would be able to do it. They would be able to survive longer because they have the strength to be able to do those things, be able to chop down a tree and, all these different type of things. Not saying that a woman can't do it. It'd probably take a whole lot more women to do it, but there's just certain things that it would be much harder for us to do. We probably just would not be around that much longer. But the whole thing is that it's a crazy mindset to have, that we don't need men or we don't need women. We need both in order for our societies to thrive. Because if that wasn't the case, then God would have just kept Adam by himself. Period.
All right, y'all. So biologically, let's just be honest. If we were missing men or women, we would just cease to exist. So a lot of people go, well, outside of that, you can't outside of that. That's the problem. That's the issue. You can't outside of that. Like, you're dead. You're already dead. So there is no outside of that. You have to put that in there. That's number one. Number two, just in terms of what we offer to society, if it was just, like, let's say if it was just men, this would be a very brutal, nasty, and short society. We sort of kind of see what it would be like. It's called jail. No. So there you go. If that's what you want, you on your own. And the odd thing is, in jail for women, it's a similar type of vibe, which is really odd. You would think it would be really peaceful. It's not as egregious, but apparently it becomes similar, especially depending on how the increases in the security level, the worse, the more like the men it becomes. So if it's like, if it's one of the like white collar crime ones, it's not as bad or whatever.
And if you guys made it this far, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and turn on your post notifications and give us a thumbs up, so that way YouTube knows that you appreciate what we're putting down. Okay.
And I think that biblically they call it diversities of operations. When the Bible was talking about spiritual gifts, it was basically saying we all have different gifts because we have diversities of operations, because we are all our own puzzle piece. And you can't be concerned about what somebody else is doing that's a different puzzle piece, because that's not your concern. You need to do your job. And that is what you are being held accountable for. Also, in the beginning, when we were talking about being created in the image of God, it said both male and female, he created them. So from a biblical perspective, both men and women are in the image of God. So to come to the point where you want to be without one side of it, you are saying that there's a part of God that you don't want no part of. So for the Christian of us, there's that side. And of course, biologically, as we know that nobody would survive, men do have the ability to create adequate shelter and things of that nature. That's where the strength comes from. Women, of course, bear the children, and they also balance us emotionally. So they give us a reason not to go out and just be killing each other and taking somebody else's stuff. I'm dead serious, because you have to think, I can't be here to protect you all the time. So it'd be better if we're friends as opposed to everybody's enemies and just killing each other off. Women have a place because they give men a certain amount of structure mentally to be like, okay, well, I can't just be out here wilding because it could blow back on somebody other than myself. And establishing that love with women and children, knowing that there are other people that it leaves a vulnerability in you, so that you can't be out here and just be brutal. So everybody serves purposes within our society. There was, I don't know if it was an Instagram post, a reel, or what it was, and I think you're the one who found it, and I don't know where it is or where it came from. They were talking about, the woman was talking about what a yoke was. And she was like, a yoke is what used to tie the horses or the oxen together when they would be pulling a carriage. And she said part of the issue is that women right now believe that they need to be strong in the same thing that men are strong in. But what they don't understand is when you are yoked together, if both of you have strong right legs and weak left legs, the carriage is just going to be going in circles. So both of you are great in careers, but nobody wants to take care of the home, and nobody wants to provide that other piece that's missing. If nobody wants to be the emotional support or the emotional center, if nobody wants to be that symbol of things to work for and to build, if nobody wants to be that feminine part of it, then you're just going to drive yourselves crazy going in circles. You're not going to get to where you think you're going to get. You're going to have a lot of money, but your marriage is probably going to fall apart because there's no glue there.
Right.
So she was saying that that's how important it is to have people that mean and do different things in a marriage. And she was like, that includes finances. It was just a very interesting anecdote that she gave about that. And I was just like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And I think
that's the way, not to cut you off, I was just going to...
but you did cut me off, but you did.
Well, a few videos ago, he told me to do this.
I did.
Okay?
I told her I've told her this before. She got jumping because I just keep going.
And if you think about it, that's how we have successful organizations. That's how they're organized.
Yes.
Where you have basically like the different components. You have the top, the CEO, and you have all the other, I don't know the order of them.
COO and the CFO and
whatever, all of them basically, or what have you. You got different departments. You got somebody that, the accounting department deal with finance. You got HR, deal with relations and stuff like that in the organization. You have all these different parts within the organization that helps it to function and flow in harmony. Yeah, it helps it basically to function properly. And I think it's this same concept. Right. Basically, like you have to have all the different parts so that way everything can flow correctly. You can't have one person basically just doing everything.
But I think that was a great video. In general, a unfortunate mindset in our society towards men, concerning men, and really being ungrateful for the society that has been built.
They're fickle. They cheer him 1 minute, they don't care the next. That's what they did to me.
For women and children because of the inventiveness and the strength and whatever else, ingenuity and all of that good stuff from men. And to be honest, just like he said, like women would not even be able to have the rights to speak out the way they do and to move like they do if men didn't say, hey, you should have the freedom to make the choice to move a certain way, even if I don't like it, and I should not take that from you. And I think that that is fair and that is just, and that's the way that it should be. I think that that is something that a lot of women don't realize, because a lot of women do think that they are completely 100% equal and the same as men, and women are not. Men and women are different for a very specific reason. And I don't care if you believe in evolution or creation, both of them support that reality. And I think it's sad that that's how bad things have gotten, but it's what feminism sort of morphed into. And a lot of women buy into it. They don't have conversations with people like, in that situation, it looked like it was a Fresh and Fit episode, which, wow.
I did not see that coming.
But they have moments. And it was a situation where you sit down with a guy who understands certain things and he could talk to women so that they can have some understanding and talk to them in a way where they would take it. Because if Myron said the same thing, they wouldn't have called nothing. So I don't know if that's Tommy Sotomayer.
I can't tell.
Because I'm not as familiar with him. That might be who that is. But that was a great video.
Comment down below your thoughts and let us know what you think.
All right, y'all. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit that subscribe button. I need you to hit that notification button. I need you to hit all the buttons. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Down in the description, there are 2 links.
One is to a GoFundMe, and the other one is to a video that explains what the GoFundMe is for. Long story short, we have a medical situation with our daughter that we have to pay for everything out of pocket. And we could really use you guys' help. If you have the time, we'd love for you to go check it out. If you have the money, the funds, we'd love for you guys to help. If not, maybe you could send a link to somebody else who can help. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Press the off button.